Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about summer-like temperatures in the Northeast, finally after that long cold stretch of May, particularly in Long Island, southern Massachusetts, and Connecticut. The possibility of a tropical storm that could hit the Gulf, but is very unlikely at this point, and the flash flood threat that is happening in Texas and Louisiana. In this dark green here, we have flash flood watches that stretch all the way from southern Texas all the way out in southern Mississippi and all the way back up into southern Oklahoma. In this yellow shade here, you have a tornado watch, which stretches pretty much from almost central, but southern and eastern Texas. In the center of that, you have this orange, which is a severe thunderstorm warning, and to the left of that, let me clear this out for you, you have this light green, which is a flash flood advisory, and in the middle of this, that red dot right there, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is a red dot right here in one county that is undergoing a flash flood warning. If we zoom in on that county real quick, and I'll show you, this is the exact warnings right here. We have just north of North Bruinsville, sorry if I mispronounced that, but we have a flash flood warning right here. Just off to the east, just south of Lagrange, you can see we have a tornado warning in this most northeastern county, and the rest back here, you have a flash flood watch going on. And these little stripes right here are flash flood warnings, and these up here are flash flood advisories. A flash flood watch means a flood could happen, so watch out. A flash flood advisory is a flood is happening right now, but it is nothing too severe. You should still get to higher ground and be advised to watch out to see if it gets higher. And a flash flood warning is happening right now, and it's some serious flooding, and you really need to get to high ground. Now, once I was talking about before in the beginning of the video, we have finally summer-like temperatures returning to the parts of the Northeast here and across the East Coast. This is all because we have a high pressure system setting up just south of Long Island and along the eastern coast, which is bringing up warmer temperatures from the Gulf, and eventually, once this high pressure moves out, colder temperatures will come, but it's going to be nothing like before. It's going to be 70s, 80s, and some pockets could reach 90. You will see later when I bring up the map, but as you can see, the high pressure system stays across the Northeast. See how dry it is up until Saturday, when parts of the Northeast does have a chance of having rain showers and possibly even some snow showers well up into Canada. It is pretty much all done with snow since we are almost to June already, believe it or not. And the high pressure finally, by around Wednesday or Tuesday, breaks down and we have a cold front that passes by. But remember, this is not winter anymore. It is going to be 60s and 70s, upstate could be 50s, 40s, but it's still going to be relatively nice with a lot less rain chances like we had in the beginning of the spring, which we had a lot of rain, consistent low pressure systems coming across the Northeast and just going up into Maine like this system. But this is 300 hours out. I wouldn't pay too much attention from that because this is last run. You see how there's no rain in Maine, but on this run there is a little low pressure system just off of Cape Cod that is bringing rain to Maine. You can see how much these runs can vary, especially when it is so far out. And speaking of when these runs get far out, I especially emphasize once it gets past 120 hours. This was 162 hours. This is that tropical storm threat that everybody was starting to talk about when I just talked about in an intro that we could have a possible tropical storm on the Gulf Coast. Really, that threat has vanished quickly. Because if I show you right here, you can see it comes out of Cuba pretty much. It comes out of the Bahamas, just south of Florida, maybe right over the Keys. You can see there is a little tight circle here that does indicate a circulation of a low. And you can see with these millibars is the pressure. It is about maybe 1012, 1010 at that time, a very weak storm. But as you can see, the GFS actually wants to rapidly intensify this storm, which at least for winter storms you would call this bombogenesis, and I'm pretty sure it is still bombogenesis when it comes to hurricanes. You can see it goes from 1003 pressure to 1000 to 997 and then eventually 996 in a span of 24 hours. Bombogenesis is when it drops a millibar per an hour, at least one, or it drops 24 millibars in 24 hours. And I don't think it does specifically get to that point, where 1003 and all the way down to 996. It doesn't reach that, but it does strengthen rather quickly. It would be a strong tropical storm at most, but remember, this storm, like I said, vanished. This is the run after that, and then after that, you can see it is nowhere to be found and is gone from the map. If we switch to the Canadian real quick, you can see at this time it's had a high pressure system over Tennessee and northern Georgia. And if we scroll all the way back here, you can see it is pretty much the same. It's going to be a guarantee that this weekend and week is going to be beautiful for the Northeast, besides maybe Saturday and Sunday, which could be in the air right now. At least for the Canadian, it does have a couple showers in the Northeast. But if you're along the coast of, let's say, Boston, Cape Cod, Long Island, southern New Jersey, you should be good at least for Saturday and Sunday. But by Monday, it looks like eventually the rain does come through when the high pressure finally this disappears, weakens, whatever you want to call it, and the cold front pushes it out as well, and you have a low pressure system form along it. These were the temperatures for today, the max temperatures, at least the readings across the whole Northeast. You could see all the way up into northern Maine, actually got up into the mid-high 60s, all the way down by Boston in this almost light whites, I guess you could say, light brown. You can see all the way down from eastern Pennsylvania, southern and central and eastern parts of New Jersey, all of Long Island, and almost onto Cape Cod. It was 80 plus degrees in this area, and in the pink it was, I would say, around 70 to 80 degrees, which pretty much spanned it almost all across the Northeast, except for higher elevations such as upstate New York, all the way up in northeastern Vermont, and of course central and northern Maine. But if we go to look at the lows tonight, you can see that these temperatures fall from 80 to possibly all the way down to 58, and even in the city actually stays to 63, believe it or not, because all those buildings don't release that warm air as well as upstate New York would, because obviously there's a lot less buildings upstate and there's a lot less steel buildings. Believe me, I have seen it all. It is a beautiful place upstate, and it's just as beautiful as it is in New York. But back to the weather, you can see upstate Maine drops to, or not upstate Maine, northern Maine drops from maybe possibly touching 70 today, all the way down to 40s, and down to Boston in this area that we had shaded in 80 plus degree range is from the mid 50s to possibly even touching the mid 60s. If we go look at tomorrow, it's going to be a lot warmer than it was today. We can have some places possibly even touch 90 degrees here. You can see anywhere in this brown, white again that we had yesterday, well today I should say, is 80 plus degrees, and this pretty much stretches almost all across the northeast and eastern coast. Pretty much the northern, there's some pockets in here that are dipping just below 80, but you can pretty much see it is going to be nice and warm, perfect beach weather if you do decide to go in the water. And anywhere near New York City and Long Island could see 86, possibly 88 degrees weather here, which is very, very nice because it is Maine. There's very little humidity with this. And in northern Maine, you actually do get into 70 degrees, and southern Maine, you could possibly touch 80. Like I said before, 88, 87, 83, and then once you get out closer and closer to the Forks here, your temperatures do die off just like over here in the Cape. The temperatures tomorrow night will probably be the same tonight, if not a little warmer. As you can tell, Long Island's a little warmer, the city is a little warmer, and Detroit is a little warmer as well. Thursday looks to be a little cooler if you are on the coastline here, but anywhere else in the inland pretty much looks to be again 80 plus degree weather here, and even again pockets of 90. You can see 89 north of DC, 89 in DC, and 89 just south of DC, which I wouldn't be shocked if there is once again 90 degree weather here. And finally, the temperature for Thursday night will be pretty much the same, low, mid 60s, and if not high 50s. Back by Detroit, you could actually have in Detroit, I should say, southern Michigan, and northern Ohio, you could have possibly temperatures in the mid to low 70s. Well, mid to high 60s, low 70s, believe it or not. Now, briefly, before I end the video, I just want to briefly analyze the temperatures and sea surface temperatures anomalies from the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, which could impact the hurricane season here. Right now, we have a La Nada, which is in between point 0.5 in the La Nina range and point 0.5 in the El Nino range. This means you have both warmer and cooler waters off of South America here. In the middle, you can see that there is warmer waters, but in the outskirts of that, you do have cooler temperatures. This year, we are heading for an El Nino, which means there is going to be warmer temperatures off of South America, and which does mean there's going to be more shear in the Atlantic Ocean, preventing the hurricanes to form. What shear means is when there's stronger upper winds creating exactly more shear, which does tear the storm apart. Once again, an El Nino is when you have warmer waters, which indicates this orange color right here, warmer waters off of South America and Central America, which does create more shear, which does tear the storm apart. Which is good news. After last year, we have a La Nina, which is a bipolar opposite when you have stronger, more shear in the Pacific and little to no shear in the Atlantic. There always is shear around the Atlantic and Pacific, no matter what type of season you have in the South America. But with an El Nino, you have more shear, which will keep those storms low. Which I do predict we have still an active season. I still predict at least right now 8 to 14 storms, but nothing like last year. 27, 29 storms, I think it was. I do not know the exact number, but it was a crazy year, no matter what. Thank you all for coming back to watching this video. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, but I hope to officially regain that pattern of uploading again. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.